It's recording right now.
Recording
Yeah.
already?
Yeah.
Oh. Hello, it's me, Super Mario. Mamma mia! What? Wait. Hello to all my friends at OutNow. It's me, Mario. Woohoo! You're number one. Ha ha!
That's very good. That's a start. I'm here with Charles Martinet, who is, of course, the voice of the most well-known video game character in the entire world, and everybody knows who Mario is.
Yes.
But not a lot of people know who Charles Martinet is.
That's
So,
it's a secret. It's a big secret. I hide.
so how's that for you, not being known visually, I guess?
You know, it's great. I have the most marvelous time. Here we are at the Zurich Game Show, and I get to see people who know me immediately because they're in this field and love of the video games, and that's it's a wonderful selective fame. And of course, when I go on the street, I'm usually not recognized, which is great. But I do get recognized every day or two, and it's very sweet. You know, it's always, you know, taking a picture with a fan and a woohoo. Because I'm a Mario fan, too.
Can you quickly refresh our memories on how you got the part of Mario?
Sure, absolutely. I was an actor doing what actors do, sitting on the beach waiting for the phone to ring, and the phone rang. And I went, why is the phone ringing? And I answered the phone, and it was my friend who said, you got to go crash this audition. And I said, there is no way I would ever crash an audition. I am a professional actor. I could never, where should I go? And I have no idea why, but I went to this audition, and the direction was start talking, and when you run out of things to say, that's your audition. And I didn't know Mario, I didn't know Nintendo, but I knew I wanted to have fun. So the fun voice that came to my mind with Italian plumber from Brooklyn wasn't, get out of my face, I'm waking here. It was, let's go, mamma mia. And so I started doing that voice, and I didn't stop until I heard, stop talking. There's no more tape. Cut. Thank you. We'll be in touch. And I left, and they only sent my videotape, and that was 26, almost 27 years ago.
That's a very long time. That's longer than I've been alive.
Yes.
So that's crazy. And I mean, as we said, it was almost 30 years ago, and your voice must have changed in this time span.
You know, it's a wonderful part about being a voiceover actor. You know, when you have guys that are 85 years old that still can sound like children and still sound the same, because that's the way you learn how to exercise your voice as a muscle. You know, so I can scream all day but not lose my voice. I can, you know, find the pitch and register that works with a particular voice, and that's what you do as an actor, as a voice actor.
It somehow evolved from you not only voicing Mario, but also voicing like his brother and his friends and family. And how did that come apart?
You know, it's just been one marvelous gift after another. I love working with Nintendo. It's like a big family organization. You know, I go in, I've been doing Mario in real time. We did that for several years before we started doing the games. And one day I went in, and there was Wario to do as a real-time character. You know, have a rotten day, you know. And they just said, well, put a voice to that and do that, you know, because we're like a family. And it's like, oh, you know, you're the guy that does the voices, so do some funny voice, you know. And I did that, and then one day we went in to record Mario Tennis, and Luigi's there, you know. It's like, hey, I do a voice for him, you know. And I used to always do Mario's voice. You know, oh, how you doing today? And people would come up to the TV set, children would say, can I please speak with Luigi? And I'm like, we didn't have a Luigi in that real-time thing. So I say, hang on a second. I'll see if he's busy. But, you know, I think he's in the kitchen making spaghetti meatballs. But, you know, he's also pretty shy. But let me see. And then the whole moving system, whenever I move my mouth, that would make the character move. So I'd have to go, hey, Luigi. Yeah, what do you want? And I pretend like, you know, I had a whole world where Luigi and Mario's bedroom was over there, and the kitchen was over here, and Papa was in the den over there watching TV. Don't touch that remote control. I'm using that, you know. And you know, I'd say, hey, Luigi, you want to come out and say hello? Oh, no, I'm in the kitchen making spaghetti meatballs. Besides, I'm too shy. Oh, he says he's in the kitchen making spaghetti meatballs. Besides, he's too shy. Oh, please. Hang on a second, I'll ask. Oh, please, sorry. Oh, he says, sorry. I mean, sorry, you know. And I would play like this, and it was so cute because you'd watch children's heads go like this. And then Papa's over there. And they'd look over there just to the side of the TV set. It's so wonderful. The complete suspension of disbelief, you know? It's magical. Like the Mario games. You know, to me, the second I walked into the studio with Super Mario Odyssey, and I saw the drawings, and I saw the videos, and I saw the script, I knew that this was going to be an absolute magical game. I think all the Nintendo games that I've ever seen and worked on is such a pleasure and such an honor and such a joy to work with. But there's something really special about this game.
What would that be?
Well, you know, every Mario game, if you've played the very first one and the most recent one, there's always that thread of joy and happiness and fun and adventure, the courage of the character, the, you know, adventures and the bosses, and, you know, but it's every time it's unique and every time it's different. And this one is just kind of like, it's another octave. You know, when you see Cappy and you see the hat thrown and then becoming that character, you know, that's incredible. That's such innovation, and it's like a Mario game, but there's just this broadening of the horizon, which is just magnificent. I think people are going to agree that it's magical. That it's just the fun is just never stops.
I got the chance to play it myself, and okay. I wondered, since Mario and his friends and family, basically, they don't say full sentences most of the time. How often do you have to go back to Nintendo and record new lines?
Well, very often, fortunately for me, you know, because there's always something. Super Mario Odyssey, you know, the launching of the game. Welcome to my new galaxy, you know, these things. It's such a pleasure, it's such a joy, and I think it adds a certain freshness and beginning, you know, anew to have new recordings and new ways, you know, because you can put together something, but when you go hop, hop, Yahoo! There's a way that when it's done right to the animation, it has a little bit more life and spontaneity and joy to it, you know?
So they don't just recycle the samples all the time?
Not. No.
That would be a shame.
Oh,
and
well.
And as I said, they don't speak full sentences. Would you have liked to have Mario and his friends speak full sentences and have actual dialogue?
You know, the wonderful thing about working with creative departments or the creative people at Nintendo that I think are absolutely genius is that you develop a relationship of trust. And I absolutely trust that Mr. Miyamoto, everyone in that department, they know what works. They know what makes something magic. And I may think, oh gosh, I wish I could speak in full sentences. But if all of a sudden, you know, you're starting this adventure, and then Mario starts to talk to you, hey, listen, I'm going to ask Toad a couple of questions, and then, hey, Toad, what do you think about it? You know, that it would change the dynamic of the game. And the way it is now, it's just right.
That's so good. And I heard before that you said Mario is a very positive and happy and encouraging character. And when I look at your Instagram feed, I see you are as well, because it's so wonderful to see your feed and just the positivity in a time where everything seems to go to shit a little bit. And just the positivity coming from you, I think that's so wonderful. Are you just a happy and excited person all the time?
You know, life is a tremendous gift. It's a joy, and you go through life, and as a child, you identify immediately with innocence and joy and happiness and fun and love and spontaneity. And as you get older, it's very easy to become jaded and cynical and to believe that life isn't so great and, oh, look at those people over there, and to blame and to point the finger. And it's easy to look at people as being separate from you. And I think that it's almost a responsibility to love and to care and to choose innocence. And I think that's a piece of the brilliance of Mario is, you know, it is an innocence that a child relates to immediately, and then an adult can relate to and look at and go, oh, my childhood is rekindled, my innocence is rekindled. And so for me, that's important for me as a person to want to do the same thing. Mario inspires me constantly, truly.
When I look at the feed, you go up to a lot of cosplayers and say, "Oh, that's a cool cosplay." It seems like you're fascinated by cosplay. What fascinates you so much about it?
I love cosplay. I love like the Zurich Game Show. You walk and you see people that have a passion for something. And that's what it's all about, and it's what I wish for everybody, is to live your dreams and your passion and your joy and what makes you happy. Because when you're doing what makes you happy, you make other people happy. When you want to make people happy, you make other people happy. When you fulfill your passion, life has a way of working together with you. And I see these people in cosplay that work for 6 months, for a year on their costume, and I see they're wearing their own passion. And I love that. And I love these cons because, you know, in university you can meet people, in school you can meet people. Once you finish school, it's like, well, you have the people you work with. And that can be like 20 people or 2 people or 50 people. But you come to a con and you suddenly see hundreds of people. And when you see cosplay that matches yours, you know, you go, oh, you have an instant relation to what they're doing. And I've seen relationships start and marriages happen and proposals happen at these things. And that makes me very happy.
That is so good to hear. And now for my last question, as you're fascinated and happy about cosplay, would you consider cosplaying yourself? And if so, what would you cosplay as?
You know, I love all the cosplay that I see, but I don't have much inspiration to go and do it per se. I'd rather just enjoy other people's doing it, because I can't imagine. You know, I tried to make a jacket when I was in my 20s, and I thought, I'll make a smoking jacket so I can look sophisticated. And I mean, it's like one sleeve was up here and the other sleeve was down to my knee. So I learned right then and there that I probably wasn't very good at making that sort of thing.
So you're a much better plumber, I guess, than a tailor, and so thank you so much for coming to Zurich and talking to me for OutNow. And I hope you have a great show last day, and I hope you get to enjoy Zurich yes. A little bit.
Love it.
And thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, and thank you very much for playing my games. You number one. OutNow. Wahoo!